Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duskmos, and today I've got the Enigmatic from Universal Audio. Let's check it out. So today in this Signal Colors primer video, we're taking a look at the Enigmatic, which is an amp simulator pedal. It's a little bit different for the channel because what I normally work with are pedals that would be before the amp, but in this case, the pedal is the amp, and it really just simulates the sound of the amp more than actually pumping out like any kind of amplified, wattage or something. But what it gives you is that crunchy amp sound full of overdrive and tone sculpting. There's even room on board, which is basically the ambient sounds that you would get if you mic'd up a speaker cabinet in a room, those reflections, and just gives it a little bit more space and more realism. You've got EQ controls, and you've got overdrive and volume for input and output gain. And you've got these selector switches here, which are for your various settings. You've got cab here, so it's basically like the cabinet that the amp head is powering. And so you've got green back speaker and like different modes. I'm not sure about the other ones. Like I don't know what D is, and then EV maybe is like Electro Voice. D is maybe Dumble. In the middle here, you've got a toggle for your different knob controls. So like up is alt, so it's changing the alt settings, which are the settings that are in the brackets. Amp is the middle position, and it's just what you see on the panel here, so that the main characters, the main text on the knob labels. And then bottom is store, so you can store presets. Over here, you've got some tone stack options. You've got rock and jazz and custom. In rock and jazz, kind of predetermined or preset modes for either like rhythm or lead type sounds with some baked in flavor to them. And then custom is your own setup. Like the other pedals in this line from Universal Audio, there's also Bluetooth on board where you can tap into other preferences and unlock extra features like different routing types and different presets and like artist profiles and take this whole thing into a whole other place than what you get access to on the main panel here. But what's cool is I've found without using the apps, you can still do a lot right here, and it sounds great. And surprise, surprise, I actually do play guitar as well. I have a Telecaster, actually it's a GNL, Tele style, and then I've got a Martin D35 for acoustic, but I got rid of my amp actually a long time ago. I haven't really been playing the electric that much, but I've been interested in looking at amps and pedals for that because I think, obviously I like pedals. I do a lot of pedal stuff on the channel, clearly. And I thought this might be a cool thing to sort of serve a dual purpose in my studio to work as an actual amp sim for a guitar, but then also add some crunch and distortion to synths and drum machines. So we're going to check out that angle today. But as I mentioned, I want to try it out because it's actually on loan from my affiliate partner, Zounds.com. So shout out to them for letting me get my hands on it and see if it's something that works for me. And I thought, while I had it, I might as well demo it for all of you. So if you're interested in learning more about the Enigmatic or purchasing one yourself, you can check out my affiliate links in the description below. But I'm sure before you do that, you might want to hear it. So let's do that. I'll describe my setup actually first. It's a little bit of a trickier one today because I just thought I would try something a little different, mainly because I have two mono devices. The pedal runs in stereo. You can use the individual inputs, but I can't engage and disengage. Speaking of, it's engaged right now, but I could only have it on both or off on both. And I wanted to be able to mix and match. So I'm running it in the aux send from my TX6, and it's coming out here in stereo, running into the pedal, and then back into this channel here, channel 2. And so independent of that input, I have the synth coming in here on channel 4, and then on channel 5, I have the drum machine, which is the 606 from Roland and the SH101, also from Roland, both from the 80s, both very classic. But what this setup allows me to do is run them clean, mute the cleans, and then just run the Enigmatic channel or blend the two, which is pretty cool as well. Kind of run them in parallel. So on that note, let's just go ahead and hear how this thing sounds. So straight away, I'm going to play I'm going to noodle around before I play any kind of pattern. Oh, I also have a little bit of reverb on the SH101. It's only on the clean channel. It's not going to be when it's going through the Enigmatic. So Here we go. That's kind of what we're working with. Let's go ahead and engage the enigmatic. And I'm going to unmute that channel. Mute this one. It's already very crunchy, almost like that driven kind of Rhodes. I don't know. I feel like that's what I think of when I think of distorted sort of piano synthy sounds. So I can go into the alt mode and actually add some more room to this. And you can hear there's like a very tight, very, I don't know, I want to say shallow, but it's not a big, you know, big room space. But it adds a little bit more. A little bit more breath to it, I guess. So you back it off and you really hear it. Now you can control, obviously, the EQ here. I'm going to get out of the alt mode. So you cut the bass. Brought up the middle. Treble. I'm getting a little bit of noise with it. That comes just like in a real amp. Get different responses. And remember, this is what it sounds like clean. Turn off that reverb. It's too much. And back to the enigmatic. You can also go back into the alt mode and change up, like whether it's deep or mid focus. And the presence. Brightness. You have to watch your levels a bit. Oh, I was changing those while I was in alt mode, so I have some jumps I want to play. Here you go. Even a nice hum. So pretty legit. We can switch the cabs. So let's change out of the GB25 into the D65. And they have different responses. You hear definitely a different EQ vibe. And again, this is what clean sounds like. Then back to the enigmatic. Switch to the last cab style, EV12. Pretty cool. you can also bypass and just get a kind of like your own sort of non-cabbed version, I guess. I mean, it's still technically, I guess it would be still emulating, like going through some sort of amplification, but not the predetermined cabs. Let's go back to the 25. Knock back the room there. Okay, so now, let's see if I can leave that up. I'm going to mute it though, and we're going to play a bit of a sequence, which actually I didn't explain. This is running with the trigger out from the 606 going into the external clock in on the 101. And I set a trigger on every fourth, so it'll play in time with the pattern. So I'm going to get the SH in play mode, and I'll go ahead and run the 606. Tempo control here. Now we can switch between the 101 clean and the 101 through the enigmatic. So let's do that. You can just mess around. Switch the cab up. Kind of the cabless mode. Now I can start to send the 606 to the enigmatic, blend it in. And actually bring in the clean versions of both of these. Just on the 606. Left the 101 clean. tweak the alt settings for this. Mute the synth. Switch the voicings between rock and jazz. Big difference there. All right, now the 606 is going to be clean. And I'm going to load a new sequence. Actually, I'm going to stop it real quick. We'll load a new sequence into the SH101. Okay, let's try this. That works. Do some like kind of off-kilter steps forward. All right. Crazy sounding, but it's all right. Cut the mod out. Go with this. Back into the custom mode. a filter going. Reminder of what it sounds like. Clean. Well, there we go. It's a bit of a little mini jam and definitely a first look at the Enigmatic, my first look anyway. It's been out for a little bit, but from what I can tell, I really like it so far. It's definitely got some crunchy voicing. It's got EQ controls. It's got different emulations on board. It sounds good on guitar. I did enjoy it with the telly, and it is stereo. So if you had a stereo source, you could crunch up some of whatever you wanted. I haven't used the app yet. I kind of refuse to use apps or like software stuff when it relates to hardware that's supposed to, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's supposed to live in the box that it's in. But what's cool is, that's just a me thing. But what's cool is this is great just straight up. Like, I feel like you don't need to mess with that stuff if you don't want to. There's a lot here that you're already gonna enjoy. There's nothing critical about the app. So you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but I do think it's cool that it's there and you have some settings. And maybe it could be a situation where, like, I might, if I end up buying this myself, I might actually just go in, tweak whatever I need to tweak, like mess with it for a day, and then leave it set the way it is. And then, and then just rock, the hardware, like kind of offload it or whatever. But that being said, it wouldn't stop me from enjoying this for what it does right here, right now. So on that note, if you like what you heard and you want to pick up an Enigmatic, plus it looks sick and the build quality on these are really, really nice. I think I've said that on any of the other Universal Audio, like large format pedals that I've demoed. But anyway, if you wanted to check one of these out yourself, you can check out the link in my description to Zounds.com, my affiliate partner who let me borrow this. If you want to read a little more or pick one up for yourself, I've got a shortcut for you to get there. Well, all right, that's going to be it from me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.